Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Two Hands in a Radio, where we look at inexpensive shortwave radios and other stuff. Today will not disappoint with the inexpensive shortwave radio part. We've had really good luck with the PRUNUS brand. I say we, it's kind of like a race car driver we drove a good race. No, I did. I've had good luck with PRUNUS. PRUNUS is actually a word that means some kind of a flowering tree or shrub, bush kind of thing. So it's actually a something. And we've taken a look, if you've played along at home, we've looked at the J01 model and the ANJAN A-166 model. Had pretty good luck with them. I kind of like them. They're a better build quality than most of your inexpensive stuff. This comes from eBay for $17.99 with free shipping. Yes, I bought it myself. I don't accept radios from manufacturers. That way I think I can give a little more honest review than otherwise. I think otherwise I might feel obligated to give it a positive and not share some of the negatives. So here we go. The PRUNUS L-238SW comes in red, blue, black, gold. This shows yellow. It's actually a gold color. Kind of pretty. The red's really pretty. Of course, you all know I really like the red, but I got the black model. And let's just dig into it. And the main thing with this is, and I think we're all guilty of it, we all expect these radios under $20 to be a $50, $60, $70, $200 radio or whatever. Well, that's not a yada-da-da-da-da. Well, hell no, it's a $20 radio. What do you expect? Well, that doesn't have single sideband. No. You know, and I'm guilty of it too, that I'll look at a radio and look at some really nice high-end stuff and then go back to a more inexpensive model and think, whoa, what's this? So what we have to do is we have to clear our minds, and forget selectivity, sensitivity, all those technical BS words that people throw out and don't even know what it means, and just think of fun. And we as a culture have forgotten how to have fun. All we know how to do is outrage. And all we know how to do is respond with some kind of hate and outrage. And pisses me off. So anyway, I guess I'm part of it too. But fun, that's the, do it again. Fun. As I have a tractor coming up behind me. This ought to be exciting. Let's dig in. Oh my God, he talked for 3 minutes and didn't do anything. Yeah, well, get over it. We have, am I a tad bit cynical? I believe I just sounded a bit cynical. Oh well. We have a charging cable. Nice. We have a host of those. We have a wrist strap. I almost cut the wrist strap off. And I thought, no, I'm not going to. And here it is. And we do have an instruction sheet in there that, we'll get to that later. But here it is, Mr. PRUNUS. See if we can get in focus here. I can't tell if we're in focus or not. Boy, my eyes are getting rough. I don't know if you'll be able to see the LCD screen or not, because it's going to be the old-fashioned red blocky digital thing, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. With the refresh rate of the camera may make it look all scriggly wiggly. Oh, I apologize. I've gotten in trouble for making up words, and I just said scriggly wriggly, and I apologize. I just made up a word that I'm not allowed to make up words and have fun. So take that, Mr. Millie Jilly Watt commenter. Anyway, I should make a whole video on just how I feel. Anyway, I'll quit because I really kind of dig this radio. 5 inches wide, 2 3/4 inches tall, 1 inch thick, each one give or take a 1/16 or so. I'm not too exacting in science. Does have a 10-inch antenna. Tiny, tiny, tiny little antenna. We're going to take care of that here shortly. You know we'll take care of that. Half of the 5 inches speaker, so I'm going to say about a 2-inch speaker or so. Got the old-fashioned LCD screen, also one to take off. Wing! There goes the protective thing over the screen. That's kind of cool. Always fun to pull that off. And we have the rubberized keys. Kind of interesting. And what I like about these, immediately I noticed they're large. And they're a lot like the L-238 that we reviewed a long time ago. It had no brand name, just model L-258. A lot like this. It's not exactly like the L-258 because the keypad is different. Stuff is laid out differently than that model. So don't go there with all that. But they're rubberized and large. And I do believe, as I just see, I can't, with the camera in front of me, I really can't see what I'm doing. So it's a good example of, I think I could do this without, you can lay there in bed with your eyes closed and just, oh, I got to adjust the volume, or I got to do, whatever you have to do. You could probably feel your way around. That sounds horrible. Anyway, I digress. Rubberized keypad, very cool. On the right-hand side, we have a mini USB thingy to charge the battery in it. We'll get to the battery in a minute because everybody's heads will explode. Full-size USB port where we can play MP3s. We have an auxiliary line in where we could plug our phone in or some other inferior speaker device and plug it into this and actually have some pretty good audio. I don't know if it's stereo or not headphones. I don't care about headphones, so I just don't even mess with them. They don't come with headphones, so I'm not even going to try it. And that's my fault, and everybody can rage about that too. The back side, we've got, it looks like maybe it's a little indented thing here. It doesn't look open though. It looks like it is, but it doesn't look open, like maybe a base port or something for a little extra whump. And I don't know about that. Back here we've got our wonderful BL5C battery. The battery orientation for those that need it, if you've got the antenna on the pointing to the top, the posts are down in the lower right hand corner, and everyone goes crazy about the battery. They don't like these little cell phone batteries. You can get them on eBay for $2 or $3. They're not that hard to find. I just don't buy that excuse that, oh, they're too hard to find and it ought to be AA batteries. Well, I don't engineer them. And I'm also looking for, it takes 3 to 5 hours to charge that battery. The charge light will stay on all the time, so it doesn't go off when it's fully charged. You just kind of got to look at the clock. I thought I'd read someplace, and I don't see it as I quickly look on here. The battery will last probably about 10 hours or more, something like that. Good enough, that's for sure. But yeah, the cell phone type battery, nobody likes it, and I just don't see what the issue is with it, really. I think the 18650s batteries are harder to find. And the left-hand side's absolutely nothing. We're back to the front side, so we're almost ready. What we can do is plug in our thumb drive. If I can tell which way is which. Oh, and on the bottom, you also have a micro USB card thing. slot there that you could put a little micro SD card in and plug that in for MP3 also. So it's dual function on the MP3, kind of cool. And the top of it, of course, I didn't show the top. Boy, I'm losing control. I'm out of control. I obviously am a joke since I don't look at all sides of the radio. On the top, on-off switch, volume switch, which was graciously set to full volume. And I got out of the box and hit the on switch. Well, needless to say, there was extra laundry to do that day. It was on full volume. Oh, 3.5 watts too of speaker power. That's kind of interesting. Anyway, I digress some more. Let's just take a look. We'll flip this on. And I don't know if anybody can see anything. I can't see much. And what you do is you hit your M button to pick the mode that you want. And there it goes finally. These are all YouTube library approved songs. You can fast forward with that button or back or whatever you want to do. There's full volume. We won't keep it at full volume very long, but you can tell it does get loud. People probably recognize that. It's got a great audio to it. I'm digging the audio really well. Now, the downside to this, we'll just get to the negative right away. Who cares about that? The negative is not a lot of ways to tune this little guy. You've got a direct entry keypad, so if you know the frequency you want to go to, that's good. And it's a little weird. Especially on shortwave, it gets a little odd. Because there's only, well, I'm not sure how to explain it yet, but like 5855, you enter in 5855 or 5850, 5850, and it'll cut off the 0 and it shows you off to the side OSW for it ends in 0 SW. And then if you go like to 5855, it cuts off the 5 and shows 5 SW over here at the side, which you probably can't see. So it's a little odd. But you know, after looking at some of these Yaesu radios, what's odd? You know, it's okay. So anyway, we've looked at MP3 stuff, and let's look at the stuff that everybody's after. If I can tell where I'm at. Okay, I'm at AM. I apologize. It's overcast out here, but these screens are so hard. Everything's hard for me to see anymore. So everybody's got to take the visual mistakes and just roll with it, I guess. Laugh at me or whatever. The only other way to tune this is to scan to the next channel. Oh, we cringe on that one. And you hold it for 3 seconds and then off it goes, and it'll find the next one. Of course, I'm in AM now. I think I'm in AM. Yeah, I am. Good night. This is hard to see. Let's see if we find maybe 700. You can tell it scans really slow. It wouldn't even surprise me. Well, no, it says AM. Gets to 700, we may back up and... Yeah, there's 700. Let's just see if it'll get our local station here. Nah, didn't do that. Well, I bet you can't do that with a scan. Okay, so there's our local station not coming in very good at all. So you enter in your frequency. It can't be scanning. You enter in your frequency and then wait. that pause, and then it'll drop in.
Maybe that's why most of our claims come from other money managers.
$13.90. Let's just wait. Yeah, there's $13.90. That's not bad. How about $10.70? There's Indianapolis. We got Indianapolis and Seymour involved. That's not bad. Not all bad. Let's just look at 700 WLW Cincinnati. Kind of towards Cincinnati that way, so yeah, that's okay. You know, whatever. I think at night, if you really had patience with it and did the scan, you would do a little bit better than out here during the daytime. Let's just go to FM. I'm sorry, but I'm hiding my head under the camera just to see where I'm at. And it starts off, FM starts off at 70 megahertz because 70 to 87.5 is for Japan and Europe and stuff like that. So it just automatically starts at 70 and keeps rolling all up. It's kind of useful if you ever take a trip over to Japan. You've got a radio that can handle that lower frequency. Kind of nice. This should be a little bit more interesting. Maybe? Yeah, okay. We're cooking now. But we also can't hang around long because music will get smacked. And we'll just see if it finds anything. There we go. And it does move rather quick. And it puts them in... It does find, you see it finds it, and it puts it in a memory.
Get all the way back.
Which is handy. It recommends in the instructions that you do a scan on it, and then it puts them in memory for you. That's good. It puts it in memory for you, and then you can just flip back and forth through your memories. And that's kind of nice. So far we've got really good FM quality, really good MP3 end of it. AM's a little weak. And I don't know if we're almost done or not. But you see, like, yeah, 104 something. Sorry, it's just terribly hard to see in this light. Of course, I'm trying to hold it so you can see it, and you could shade it a little bit and see where it's at. It's not impossible. And then it goes back to the first one, and all you have to do then you can scan what it found and say, oh, okay, so it's not impossible. Is it my favorite thing on earth? I'd rather have a little more flexibility, like a tuning wheel. That might be a little better. I think the L-238 maybe had a tuning wheel on it. A little more flexibility with that, because I know there's a lot of people that don't like the scan features on radios. I don't mind it. I use it a lot. I like to listen. Whatever it finds is what it finds, and that's what I like doing. But I know there's a lot of people that don't. Shortwave should prove to be a little more interesting. Shortwave, what is my range on shortwave? It's not all bad. I'm trying to see if I can. Thought I'd wrote that down. Ooh, I actually have some notes. Let me get the instructions back out. One hand and a radio. Never a dull moment. I tell you what, such professionalism. Most people would have cracked and went to take two on that, but not me. I just keep right on going. That is true professionalism if I ever saw it. You know, oh, here it is. The shortwave frequency is 23 2.3 megahertz to 21,950. I think it's pretty well continuous. We're going to find out. But I'm also going to help this little 10-inch antenna out, and we're going to clip on our external sloper antenna. Who knows what's going to happen? Nobody cares. And there's the 23. And let's just do a scan. And let's just see what happens. Should be pretty good for us, because we'll hear what it picks up for just a blip. It's picking up a lot of junk, and it's just saying that a lot of junk is it. And I'm going to get visited, my yearly visit from the farmers and the owners of the property. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. They are nice people. I mean, I can't. They are the nicest people, and they check up on me just to make sure I'm okay. And they remember me, because this is about the second year, 2.5 years, something like that I've been doing it out here. And I came out here before doing videos and things, and they just check up on me and make sure I'm okay, and make sure that I watch out if I see anything nefarious. They said take a picture of it or a video of it, let us know. It's not a problem. And he's taken over. One of the tractor drivers that I just talked about, he's going to lunch, so this guy's taking over and going to keep plowing the fields and everything. And we've been given another year, so here we are. And anyway, so now we should get into the meat of all this. I kind of backed it up a bit, and you can see it just throws stuff in memory. And we're up to, I don't know what, it's finding a lot of, we're at almost 9 megahertz now. It's finding a lot of what I call a lot of nothing. And that's okay, because I would rather have it err on that side than to err on the other side and just find nothing. And that level of selection is nice. That probably was WWV there. That's kind of interesting. So, you know, if I have to pick either, I keep thinking of squelch. If I want a squelch of, say it has, and I know it doesn't, but say it has a squelch level inside of it of anything over a 1, and I'm going to say it's a station, or anything less than a 1. How do I want that? Anything less than a 1, and it's going to be a station. Or anything less than a 10, okay, that's a station. I would rather have it set at a 1 than a 10. A 10 won't find anything. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I don't know how what that trigger is to say, oh, there's a station, there's one. I don't know what that technical. So we're not technical here, that's for sure. We are as untechnical, unscientific as you can possibly get. We are the hee-haw of radio reviews. And people can't stand it, and that's just kind of humorous, I think. But anyway, no, people stand it, people can't understand it, because they've lost the ability to have fun. So now we're finding stuff. I kind of thought things above 9 megahertz or so ought to be coming in a little better today. Solar flux index, which I also call the polar pop index, which, I cannot make up terms anymore. I can't have fun. I can't have any humor at all. The solar flux index is 78, 79, something like that. And it's still just kicking right along. Of course, that sloper antenna helps quite a bit, I think. There's the other driver coming to lunch. Yeah, you can't see behind me. Oh, well. I was thinking you could see him, but no, you can't see behind me. It's just what's in front. 17, we're probably about the end of what we're going to find. 17, 18 megahertz is probably about as high as we're going to get. Just let it run a little longer. Everybody stay calm. It will be painless, I promise. I do believe winter is over finally. I guess some of the stuff, I guess there's still snow and things in Minnesota or wherever. I don't know. I just worry about here. And it's just so cool that an entire family that owns this is just, they've all give their blessing of, yeah, go ahead and do what you want out here. It's all good. And told him why I picked this site. And he said, well, elevation and no interference. He said, you picked the right spot then, because it's in the middle of nowhere. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fields all around me. Big fields. Actually, well, yeah, that's that part, about 4. Kind of interesting. We're almost at the end of the world here, and it should go back to the first choice. We'll just kind of thumb through and see, maybe go backwards with it. It says it found 62 stations. I don't think so.
Farmland in Indiana increased to 15 million acres.
See, there's the kicker. With that extra wire attached, it's picking up a lot of FM stations. A lot of bleed through. And there is 15 megahertz. So that does good. And let's see if I take, if I pull the antenna off, the long antenna wire, and just go with the 10-inch antenna, you're not going to get it. So you need some kind of help with it, but I don't think you need 23 feet either. FM, that's not FM, but the other was. And that's just me. I'm causing that FM bleed through. And there's that, 13. See, and it shows like 1371. Don't know if you can see it or not, but it's actually 13710. And then off to the side here, it'll say 0 SW. If that had been 13715, it would have showed 1371 and then 5 SW. Kind of weird, but you just kind of get used to it. There's our numbers lady. She's coming in. But you can also hear an FM station on top of her too. So it's not, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about putting that long wire onto it. There's 10 megahertz, WWV. Let me pull the antenna from it.
Thank you.
What is the, isn't the Department of Defense now using WWV for special messages and things and something? I don't know. I can't remember what I read now. I thought it was the DOD, but I don't know. I think it's funny that last year they wanted to do away with WWV, and now the military is picking up saying, no, we can use it. And that's kind of interesting for all the people that think the internet is better than this. Whatever. Okay. Storm warnings are gone. Okay. Anyway, let's move on.
Not too many. Have we not prophesied in your...
All right. Well, you get the idea, because we've rolled through everything, so I won't keep everybody too bored to death with everything, with me just fiddling around. You know, I always take that pause just to see if I can think of anything else. I like the build quality of it. I really do. It feels heavy. Doesn't feel like cheap plastic. This is, that's a metal grill. I like the build quality of it. I like the audio of it. Really nice audio. This is something you could throw in a backpack, take on a picnic, find a good FM station, or hook your maxi pad or whatever it's called up to it. Oh, I made up another one. I meant iPad mini is what I meant. The mini iPad. And it could hook up to it and play that way. I like the rubberized keys. One of the big glaring negatives to this is the tuning of it. I would love to have a tuning wheel attached, or maybe even have these keys to where it steps along, 1010, 1020, 1030. Doesn't do that. So these keys either do memory, just really do memory, or fast forward your MP3s, and that's it. I'd like to see that. MP3, FM, excellent. Different choices for MP3s, that's nice. Charge time's not bad, 3 to 5 hours. It's got a lot of positive to it. The big negative is the tuning thing is just a little, It does need help with that 10-inch antenna. What doesn't need help with a 10-inch antenna? It just doesn't need 23 foot. It needs maybe 6 foot, something. Get it up in the air, just something to get it up in the air and get a little extra. I think 23 foot's just way too much for this, and that's my doing, not the radio. And it's PRUNUS. I really like PRUNUS stuff. It's the polar opposite of our most hated brand, QFX. This is the exact opposite of it. They're really some quality stuff, and I like it. Given the positives, AM medium wave might be the weak point of the whole thing. It pulls in local stations you see manually entering them in. We got Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Seymour, whatever. So, it's not horrible on AM broadcast. It'd be interesting to see what I could do at night. I think it'd still be a little weak. And that's okay. And I keep, in my head, I have this scale in my head. 0 being the worst that it could possibly be. Just yuck. And 10, there is no 10. 10 being the perfect radio, and there is none. Especially when you're talking about a radio under $20, there is none. And 5, it does what it's supposed to do. It does what it's supposed to do. 5's not a bad rating. 5 it does what it's supposed to do. This does what it's supposed to do, but it has some extra features too. Especially with the dual card USB and card slot, the great audio. I'm 6.3 out of 10. That's where I'm headed. Would I recommend it? I would recommend it if you want to throw it in a backpack and take it on a picnic. It is not something that you want to sit down and say, I'm going to DX all the medium wave stations I can find, or you know, I'm not going to listen to Croatia with this thing or something, whatever. It's not a DX machine, but it's fun to just like me to say, I want to have a radio with me. This would be a fun radio to have with you. Just for something. May only be FM music. I don't know. Depends on where you're at. But this would be a fun radio. I like the fact that, there again, I like the fact of the big keypad. And that makes me happy. Just because it's easier to see. Some people don't care about it. 99% of the people don't care about that at all. Anyway, I like the bigger keypad. But that's where we're going to go with this one. It's above average, that's for sure. Would I buy another one? I actually bought the red one. So, yeah, I'd buy another. Anyway, I digress. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, that's okay too. Give it a thumbs down. Because when you hit that thumbs down button, you're giving it a response. And that's all YouTube's looking for, is a response. The best thing you can do is, if you don't like a video, is just ignore it. I mean, if that's what you really want to do, just ignore it. And but yeah, they just look as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that got 5 responses. They don't care about ups and downs. I don't care about ups and downs either. Anyway, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can keep track of whenever I come out with a new video, usually once a week or so, sometimes extra. There is a link under the description box that you can donate through PayPal. I do want to, I almost forgot, I want to thank Chuck. I was going to put this at the front of the video and forgot. Long-time supporter of the channel, probably the first or second like that I think I got. Chuck has donated some money to the channel through the link on PayPal. And thank you, Chuck. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everything you do. He sends radios and money, and just, I really appreciate it. And I wanted to change my thinking on that, and I want to thank people, and that way people have a better idea. I think people think that, wow, he must be a millionaire with 3,000 subscribers, and I bet he makes $50,000 a month or whatever. I don't need to send any money. No. When you listen to me thank somebody, you can start to get a pattern of, wow, there's not a whole lot of money coming in at all. And there never has been. And that's all I do. I just pass the plate, you know, and just I have the jar out there and for people to throw money in. And I use that money to buy new radios. And so if you feel inclined, you know, $1, $2, 20, whatever you feel inclined to do, it's all appreciated. It'll get your name shouted out. I won't give the last name of people. I used to just send personal emails thanking, and I thought, well, maybe they want me to respect their privacy or whatever. And then I thought, nah, what's in a first name? Nobody knows anyway. So I'll start thanking people. Boy, I've really rambled on that one. Get out, pick up a little radio like this, the PRUNUS Model L-238SW. It is a neat little radio. I think you'd like it. I'm anxious to see the red. I think red's going to be really pretty. And that's all I got. Have a good day. We'll see you at the next review.